I don't know what it is, but the second I sat down to start streaming, I started coughing, and oh my gosh. Alright. I just got a cough. Alright, are we loading up here? Hey, Donkey Kong! Oh my gosh. I just need some water. I'm gonna go through this water so fast. You know, I got these big cups, you know, just fill like a whole pint. And yet, I just burn through them. Alright, let's start a new game. Let's just go modern. Fuck it. You know, I know this game is difficult. Okay, I do remember that this game is difficult. But I'm... you know, I don't really need a challenge. I'm sure we'll get our ass kicked tonight regardless. Yeah. So I played this game on the Wii. I think it came out in what, 2010? 2010 sounds correct? I think, yeah. Let's go with 2010. So I played this game when it came out. I beat it, and I have not touched it since. I never played... I know there was a 3DS version. I never touched the 3DS version. I played Tropical Freeze when that released on the Wii U. I really enjoyed that one. Have also not touched that one yet. I actually have owned the Switch version of Tropical Freeze for over a year now. And yet, I never played it. I was just kind of like, oh, you know, I'll get around to it. And then when this remaster, this HD version got announced, I was like, I guess I'll just wait until we play the HD version. So it's been a long time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably going to be rusty. Yeah, the main level I remember in this game is there's a level where you're riding on a barrel and you're being chased by a bat. That is so, like, distinct in my mind. You're, like, and it's, like, shooting, like, sound waves at you or something. I remember just game overing over and over again on that level. And there might be more than one. That's the other scary part, is that might be multiple levels. Now, Tropical Freeze, I think I remember a little bit better. But I think that's because Tropical Freeze had, like, better level design. Yeah, that sounds right. At least we don't have to waggle a joystick to do, rolling anymore. Because I did that. I beat this entire game waggling a joystick. What a nightmare. I don't... You know what? I have no idea what happened to DK Jr., and I actually like the retcon of the Super Mario Brothers movie, where they just say, this Donkey Kong, you know, Seth Rogen Donkey Kong, is just Donkey Kong Jr. The original Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong, and Donkey Kong Jr. is our modern-day Donkey Kong. I feel like that is so much simpler an explanation than what we're currently getting. It would have been like if in the Sonic movie, if they had just made Gerald Robotnik's Eggman, you know, Ivo's dad instead of his grandfather. I feel like they could have gotten away with that change because of Jim Carrey's age. Because, you know, Jim Carrey's, what, 60? You know, they could have totally said that Gerald was just his father. Instead, they make him the grandfather that's like 110. I know because I just rewatched that movie today. So we'll be talking about that in a little bit, but... yeah. I mean, I have no idea what happened to DK Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. was created before Donkey Kong. Would that mean that DK is younger than his son? Well, I mean, technically that's not true. Technically, Donkey Kong predates Junior. And then we don't talk about Donkey Kong 3. No, seriously, I don't... outside of, like, those, like, Nintendo, like, games journalists who are like, I've played every Nintendo game ever. I don't know anyone who's played Donkey Kong Country 3, or Donkey Kong... not Country. Donkey Kong 3, the arcade game. It's just such a forgettable game. You don't even play as Mario. You know, it's a footnote in the gaming history. Same thing with Donkey Kong Math. Or was it Donkey Kong Jr. Math? Semantics. Oh god, this is just making me think of the Smash Bros. Stage. One of the few Smash Bros. Stages that didn't return. And I honestly have no idea why. Maybe that, you know, stage caused a lot of problems. But I'm amazed this stage, the Donkey Kong Country stage, didn't return. I'm amazed the Pac-Man stage didn't return from the 3DS. And I'm amazed Pokéfloats didn't return. I know Pokéfloats is kind of dumb, but it's got its charms and such. Oh god, bonus levels. I kind of remember these. Shit. So we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We got to talk about the TikTok ban. Gosh dang it, I always forget to update the stupid stream stuff. I don't know why I always forget. This is episode 4. And we're chatting about that stuff. I had it written down and everything, I just had to update it. So we're chatting about the TikTok ban, because, you know, I wanted to talk about it. We're chatting about... Silk Song, we got a Silk Song update, you know, not much, of course, mind you, but we did get one, and I do want to talk about it. We got an update on... yeah, but when we recorded the show last week, it hadn't been. And I do want to talk about the repercussions of that. I want to talk about Earthblade, which is the sequel to Celeste, and what's happened with that. Xbox had a developer direct, so Xbox showed off a few new games, gave us a few release dates. I kind of want to, you know, quickly breeze through that. Admittedly, I don't have much to say, but, you know, I do have a few things. And then, I got some WIBE stuff, you know. I played a Mario game. I played, was that all I played? Because I didn't touch Kirby this week. I played a Mario game. I went to Taco Bell. And I've been reading Onxy Storm. So I do want to talk about Onxy Storm. I'm like 20 chapters in. I've got some thoughts and ideas. We'll kind of have to see where things go, but I've got some thoughts. So, yeah. So I guess let's just get into things. So, all right, for our news, there honestly wasn't that much this week. Like I said, there was the TikTok ban. Xbox had a developer showcase, and while it gave us a lot of good release dates, there's not much outside of that. And then, you know, we're potentially getting closer and closer to Silksong. We'll see where that goes. And then we do sadly have to talk about Earthblade. So I guess let's just get into it. So, let's talk about TikTok. So we all knew TikTok was getting banned. I talked about it last week. Last week when we were finishing up Mario Odyssey, I kind of gave like a TikTok post-mortem. That was just kind of like, hey, here's some creators that I really like, you know. And then, so after that stream on Friday, through most of the day Saturday, I spent the day trying to archive some of my favorite TikToks. You know, I went through all the videos I have ever liked, every video I ever bookmarked, and I tried to, you know, save as much as, like, all the good stuff. So on Saturday, I spent a lot of, you know, it took me a few hours to go through everything. And while I was in the middle of going through everything Saturday night, it was, what, like 9:30 at night? All of a sudden, TikTok stops working. And I was like, oh shit. Sure enough, that's the moment it went banned. And I hadn't saved everything I had wanted to. There were a few videos that I knew was coming up that, nope, I didn't get to save. So for a moment, I was like, oh, that sucks. You know, it sucks to lose that stuff. Because we didn't know it was going to be back on. Of course, when TikTok went down, Lemonade also went down. I've never used Lemonade. I know nothing about it. And CapCut also went down. CapCut, from everything I've seen, actually seems like a decent beginner's editing software. For, like, you know, not wanting to pay for, like, Adobe Premiere. CapCut doesn't actually seem that bad. But yeah, that went down. And then, much to everyone's surprise, the one way I can relate this back to video games, Marvel Snap went down. I had no idea that the studio that made Marvel Snap is owned in part by ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok. So that was actually really surprising to see. I have never played Marvel Snap. Not a game for me. I've heard it's okay, but you know, it's another fucking loot box game, so outside of that, the Pokemon card collecting game, which, oh, real quick, the Pokemon card collecting game, I got my first ever God Pack. I got a holographic Mew. I got a Mew, not the golden one, but like a full Mew. I got Mew. I got the full art Mew. I got the full art Aerodactyl, and I got 2 full art Executors. I got my first ever God Pack. I'd be careful with that ChatGPT. ChatGPT is kind of stupid. I've messed around with it once or twice. It's got poo for brains. ChatGPT is pretty dumb, especially when it comes to math. Which, I know that seems weird. It's a computer. It should be good at math. It's actually kind of surprising how bad ChatGPT is at math. So I'd be careful with that if I were you. I'd recommend not using it, but that's just me. So yeah, I got my first God Pack in Pokemon. And of course the new expansion for Pokemon comes out in a week. The new expansion for Pokemon, the Pokemon TCG game, comes out on the 28th. But hey, they're finally adding trading. That's nice. There's going to be some sort of catch. I'm already going to call it right now. There's going to be some sort of catch to the new Pokemon update, or to trading. But, you know, I'm excited for it nevertheless. Yeah, so TikTok was banned. You know, people were freaking out. I know there were some people who just straight up deleted TikTok off their phones. I was not one of those people. All I did when the app went down, because I didn't know how long, I knew it was going to at least be down for, I figured at least a day, at least until Trump had taken office. Of course, that didn't happen. I literally just removed it from my home screen. That's all I did. I removed it from my home screen, you know, put it back in its folder. And yeah, I didn't delete it. I know some people did. Nah, that was dumb. And then, yeah, the next, you know, I eventually went to bed later that night, woke up the next morning, and then, hey, a few hours later, TikTok was back up. TikTok was banned for, what, like 16 hours? Nothing. And, okay, during the 1980 election, there was the Iranian hostage affair, in which a bunch of American citizens were taken hostage in Iran. And the president at the time, Jimmy Carter, was running for re-election. And Ronald Reagan came in and made a deal with the Iranian government to not release the hostages until after the presidential election, thus making Carter look worse and making Reagan look better, right, for the upcoming election when he was finally able to get into office and solve the problem. Right? It's this classical, you know, political move that, could you argue is high treason? Potentially, but that's not for me to decide. That's what this TikTok ban felt like. When the TikTok ban went up, there was like a message being like, oh, you know, TikTok's banned for now, but don't worry, Donald Trump is fixing it. And then when TikTok came back up, it was again, oh, praise Donald Trump, even though he was not president at this point. Again, it hadn't even been 24 hours. There was this message praising Donald Trump for saving TikTok. And now Facebook has a TikTok account that I have already banned, by the way. Go, if you have TikTok, ban Facebook on TikTok. Fuck them. They get nothing from this. I'm not even going to get into the whole Mr. Beast thing. But no, that's what this felt like. This felt like Donald Trump struck a deal with TikTok to not do anything until after he was in office. And now he's going to try to sell TikTok to Zuckerberg or Musk or Mr. Beast or whoever. It's a mess. Yeah, something's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, no, this whole situation with TikTok is a mess. It's clearly an act of politics, and Donald Trump should get none of the credit for this. No, fuck Donald Trump. Donald Trump has done a lot of awful, horrible, no good, very bad things this week, and we're just not going to talk about it. But just know he's a terrible person and should get no credit for anything. Especially because what he does is going to get hundreds of thousands of people killed. Remember, you don't know shit, you don't say shit. So yeah, that was the TikTok ban. After TikTok went back up, last week one of the reasons I downloaded TikTok was because of a TikToker named Panda Red, who talks about DC Comics, right? They're one of the comic book TikTokers. Really good, really entertaining stuff. So when TikTok came back up, they basically made a video talking about like, hey, now that TikTok's back, the vibe is just different. The vibe on TikTok has changed. TikTok going down and TikTok coming back is different. And someone made the connection. It's the new 52 of TikTok. And so Panda Red posted that, and I 100% agree. We are in the new 52 era of TikTok. That is the perfect description. Admittedly, my For You page, I felt like hasn't changed that much before and after. Maybe it's just because I immediately went in and banned Facebook, and allegedly that fixes it. But no, I haven't really seen much of a difference. But I think that's the perfect comparison. We are in the new 52 era of TikTok. So that's the term I'm going to be using from now on. We are in the new 52 era of TikTok. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Yeah, it's a mess. But, Donald Trump signed a thing that gives TikTok 75 days to find an owner. Donald Trump wants it to go to Zuckerberg or Musk, you know, Adolf Musk over there. And yeah, is it gonna go to one of these Nazis? Probably. But we'll just have to wait and see. Because yeah, the inauguration was a nightmare in and of itself. So yeah, that was the TikTok ban. A wild 16 hours. And now we're back, and it's as if it's never happened, and because people have such short attention spans. Yeah. Yeah, Musk ruined Twitter. Ugh. Then again, I'm not going to act like Twitter was perfect before Musk bought it. Twitter definitely had its own problem. No, I'd call them Nazis. I would call them Nazis. At least Musk. At least Musk. But no, Twitter wasn't perfect before Musk, but it's so much worse after him. And I will never use a Facebook product. Be that Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. Is that the other one Facebook owns? No, I will never use a Facebook product. I would rather go back to Tumblr than use Facebook. So yeah, been a wild 24 hours. Hey, I think that's my first death. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Facebook is for boomers. And I had a MySpace back in the day. Not like that matters. Alright, so let's talk about our next thing. So, we got an update on Silksong. So, we know Team Cherry is working on Silksong, right? But we haven't heard anything in a long time. And I have been propagating... I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. But I've held up the idea that this many years later, Silksong is in development hell. I want Silksong to be great. I am very excited for Silksong. But we are, what, 5 years removed from its reveal? Maybe even 6 years removed from the reveal. And then I want to say the re-reveal was in like 2020, 2021. It's been a long time since we last heard anything about Silksong. And so I have been part of the camp that Silksong, you know, there's a lot of people that's like, hey, if we don't hear anything this year, we'll know Silksong's in development hell. No, that was last year. Last year was the fuck around and find out year. And we found out Silksong is in development hell. There's no other explanation as far as I'm concerned. I mean, sure, maybe the documentary will come around and reveal that no, actually everything was great, you had nothing to worry about. But as far as I'm concerned, Silksong has been in development hell. And of course, our next story is not going to help with that. Our next story is equally abysmal. But I don't see any other way around it. Silksong is in development hell. But Team Cherry, after a week of crazy conspiracy theories that have to do with a cake, and the cake is a lie. I don't even know where to begin with those Silksong conspiracy theories. All I'll say is we'll get stuff eventually, but after people went a little crazy, yeah, that's to put it mildly, Team Cherry eventually came out and they made a statement that basically says, the game is real, its development is in progress, and it will release. That's it. That's the entire statement. Did we find out anything more? Did we find out anything specific? No. No on both fronts. But, you know, we got an update. We found out just a little bit more. Something wrong must have happened behind the scenes. I don't know if it was feature creep. I don't know if there was some infighting. Literally, there's 100 things that can go wrong behind the scenes. But you can't convince me that something hasn't gone wrong. Do I think Silksong is this year? I don't know. I hope so. But if it's not, I won't be surprised, because something's gone wrong. I want Silksong to be great. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say their time to like shit or get off the pot has come and gone. I could totally see that argument. And here's the thing. If the developers of Silksong had just been transparent with us, if they had been like, you know, if back in like, so they re-revealed the game in like 2020, 2021. And then, like, if a year later, they had just come out and said, like, you know, we're still working on the game, we're still a ways away, don't worry, development is progressing. If they had just been fully transparent with us, I would have none of these issues. Because that's the thing about Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 was also in some form of development hell. It had to be, the entire game had to be restarted, and Nintendo just came out and said it. They were transparent. They admitted that, hey, yes, Metroid Prime 4 has to be restarted development. It's years away. And guess what? Because of that, they got as much leeway as they needed. Sure, were people always going to ask for it every Nintendo Direct? Yes, of course they were. But finally, you know, when it got revealed, we were hyped, and Nintendo was transparent about it. Of course, it also helps that we did get Metroid Dread, like, a few years later. But transparency is important. And that's kind of Silksong's... That's the problem with Silksong. Is that we've just gotten nothing for years. Okay, it's going to take me a minute to get used to these minecarts. Am I excited for Silksong? Yes. Yes, kind of. Hopefully, yes, maybe. But, man, I'm just worried. Again, we know nothing. But because we know nothing, there are an infinite possibilities about what happened to Silksong. What's gone wrong behind the scenes. And that's the scary part. Infinity is pretty fucking scary. So while I hope the best for Silksong, we'll just have to wait. Would I love to see it show up in the April Nintendo Direct? Of course I would. Do I expect it to? No. I think we have a higher chance of seeing Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DX, or Mina the Hollower than we do Silksong. But you know, anything would be cool. Nintendo and their silly directs. Back in my day, we just sat there and waited for a game to be in a local Walmart video game section. You kids these days. Nintendo's been doing conferences since, like, when was Space World? Oh, God. I think Space World was 2001? And, God, that's not even going back to, like, CES. Oh, my gosh. Now, Nintendo Directs technically date back to, what, the Wii U era? I know you were joking, and I'm taking your joke to the logical extreme. Don't cite the ancient text. Don't cite the ancient text to me. I was there when they were written. Oh, do I not have laugh on here? I forget, now that I've got all these new emotions, I forget that I don't have laugh. I've got love instead. Yeah. But no, I'm just worried about Silksong. I just can't see it. I think the big reason why I can't see it being good is, well, because of our next story. But even before that, the game's sports story. I was so excited for the game's sports story. And it just let me down. so much. And because of that, I'm kind of worried about whatever's next. You know, because that was a, you know, Golf Story was a critically acclaimed indie game. Not as popular as Silksong, obviously, but it was still really good. And for its follow-up to just fall so short. One day some kid is going to tell me my special ability in new game is Alt F4. And I'm like, I've played these games before. Yep. I saw a Rickroll right after TikTok came back. I saw someone did a Rickroll, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Because it had been a long time since I'd last seen a Rickroll. Anything, I have another news story. You know, we're going to continue on to Earthblade. But let's beat this boss. I'll go get some more water. And then we'll move on to our Earthblade story. I'll be honest, I don't remember any of the bosses in this game. Like, honestly, the only Donkey Kong bosses I can think of are K. Rool, specifically the pirate version. I remember the Polar Bear and Tropical Freeze. I also remember the final boss of Tropical Freeze. And that's kind of it. I don't remember this guy. I mean, I'm assuming we have to jump on the target on his back. That seems pretty straightforward. I don't remember anything from this game. It has been so long. You know another old meme I saw today? I saw Loss. Someone made a Loss meme. And it's Loss is one of those memes that I think is timeless. Kind of like Rickroll. Where, like, it's better when it's more hidden. But it's always just kind of cool to see. Because, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like old memes had more staying power. Right, like Loss in Rickroll is still funny after, God, almost 20 years. Whereas Skibbity Toilets, not gonna be relevant in, I would say hopefully a year, but gods never know. Okay, I remembered you had to hit the guy. Clearly I was a bit early there. I'll remember for next time. I can't believe I drank this whole glass of water in 30 minutes. Alright, there we go. We're now onto the beach. Alright, give me 1 minute. I will be right back. Imagine you Alt F4. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Probably not. Alright, let's move on. So our next story comes from the developer of Celeste. So Celeste, the 2018 game, originally, the developers of Celeste have changed their name like 3 times over the years. Last I remember, it was Maddie Makes Games. I think nowadays it's Extremely OK Games. So they released Celeste in 2018. Fantastic game. It was my game of the year in 2018. I'll stand by, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Right? Give Celeste to any man, and it'll be the best game she ever played. So with that, you know, they had announced, I want to say at the Game Awards, that they were in development of... maybe it originally came through a blog post, and then we got our first trailer at the Game Awards. That sounds more correct. For their next game called Earthblade, which looked to be, you know, 2D... Metroidvania style, something or other. You know, it looked interesting. And that was it. That we heard about it in like 2021. We hadn't heard anything since. I want to say it was supposed to release in 2023. That was like the original date they gave us during the trailer. And that was a long time ago. And so we haven't heard anything. And there was a lot, I think even in my predictions for 2025, I think I said I was hopeful that Earthblade was going to come out this year. Because I'll be honest, I really was. But instead, we got a statement from Extremely OK Games, the developer. It's the final Earthblade update. So I'm just going to read this aloud. I'm actually going to turn down Donkey Kong in my ear real quick. Hey everyone, I've got some sad news today to ring in 2025. Late last month, Noelle and I made the difficult decision to cancel Earthblade. Yes, we are opening the year with a huge, heartbreaking, and yet relieving failure. I want to outline in this post what led to the decision and what it means for the future of EXOK, Extremely OK. Before I get into it, however, I want to acknowledge that this news will likely come as a shock to fans who have been eagerly anticipating the game. We made this decision in December and felt it was best to wait until now to announce it. For us on the inside, we've had some time to process, grieve, and work towards anticipating this, although the process is non-linear and still ongoing. For those only reading this now who might be emotionally invested in the project, we're sorry to disappoint you. And then there's an artwork, and there's some artwork and a caption. The earliest piece of concept art for Earthblade by Amora. I drew a simple map, and then Amora redid it with much more detailed art style. As much as Earthblade changed throughout the development, the vibe of this image remained the one game's anchor. What happened? So earlier this year, a fracture began forming in the team. Specifically, this was between us, Noelle and I, and Pedro, a founding member of EXOK, longtime friend and collaborator, and art director of Earthblade and pixel UI artist on Celeste and Towerfall. The conflict centered around a disagreement about the IP rights of Celeste, which we won't be detailing publicly. This was obviously a very difficult and heartbreaking process. We eventually reached a solution, but both parties also agreed in the end that we should go our separate ways. Pedro is now working on his game Neverway, which you should check out. We've played it, and it's very promising. Losing Pedro wasn't the only factor in canceling the game, but it did prompt us to take a serious look at whether fighting through to finish Earthblade was the right path forward. The project had a lot going for it, but, frustratingly, it was also not as far along as one would expect after such a protracted development process. I do believe that if we had soldiered on, despite it all, that Earthblade could still be a great game. But would it be worth the pain? Noelle and I also began to reflect on how the game has felt for us. to work on day to day and realize that it's been a struggle for a long time. Sure, working on one project for so long is bound to become a slog, but this feels like a deeper problem. Celeste's success applied pressure on us to deliver something bigger and better with Earthblade, and that pressure is a large part of why working on it has become so exhausting. Pedro isn't to blame for this. In fact, the split with him gave us the clarity to see that we have lost our way and the opportunity to admit defeat. I feel many ways about it, but one big feeling is undoubtedly relief. Because this is the internet, I want to be unequivocally here that the decision and responsibility for canceling Earthblade rest entirely on me and Noel. If you are excited about Earthblade and angry about its canceling, Pedro and the Neverwhere team aren't the enemy, and anyone who treats them as such isn't welcome in the EXOK community. So what's next? Well, this has shaken out. Other members of the team have moved on as well. Noel and I want to take all of the way many lessons we've learned from Earthblade, wipe the slate clean, and refocus ourselves back to a smaller scale project. We're prototyping again and exploring at our own pace and trying to rediscover game development in a manner closer to how we approached it at Celeste or Towerfall's inception. We still, of course, hope to collaborate with Amora, Kyle, Chevy, Lena, and Power Up Audio again in the future. Scaling the core team up post-Celeste has ultimately been a failure, and that's okay. We gave it our all, we got, and life goes on. We're happy to return to our roots and reclaim some joy in our creative process and see where that takes us. So that's the official statement. That is your final update. And yeah, that... I am brokenhearted, because, I was excited for Earthblade. I'm excited for whatever the developers do next. They are great developers. They know they've made some great games in the past. They will continue to make great games in the future. But, yeah, when I first heard about this game being canceled, the tweet I saw was it wasn't from hard drive, but it was from a source like that was Celeste 2 canceled. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke, right? I was like, oh, Celeste 2 canceled. Oh, that's funny, right? And then later on in the day, I actually read the update and was like, oh shit. Okay. The game has been canceled. You hear the dispute between, them and Pedro and what happened with the rights. There's no bad blood there. I'm not going to throw any hate in anyone's direction, right? Whatever their new game is, they say it's good, go support them. Clearly something happened, but we don't know all the details, and we never will. And we don't need to. Yeah, the game was canceled back in December, so they've been sitting on this for a while. But, that's the difficult part. Because they bring up in the statement. Let me find it. It was near the end. It was, here it is. Sure, working on the project for so long was bound to be a slog, but this feels like a deeper problem. Celeste's success applied pressure on us to deliver something bigger and better than Earthblade, and that pressure, in large part, is why working on it became so exhausting. That's, I think, the crux of the problem. That, when you make a game like Celeste, one of the best games of all time, you have to follow that up with something bigger. Or at least that's what that's the idea. That's what you want to do. And that's just really hard to do. Honestly, some would say it's impossible to do. So that's where the real pressure came from. And I totally get that. I totally get doing something great and, trying to do it again and just failing. It sucks when that, right? It's soul destroying in a way. So I get why they canceled it. And, you know, I hope whatever comes next, they do something they love, they make something great, something where, you know, they don't have to worry about all these external pressures. You know, they're able to go back to their roots. I've seen some people say, oh, well, you know, they should make Celeste 2 to, you know, rank in some more money so that way they can fully fund the next project. And I mean, if they have to use Kickstarter, they use Kickstarter. I don't fault a developer for using Kickstarter. I mean, even after the success of Shovel Knight, Yacht Club Games still went back and used Kickstarter on Mina the Hollower. And while I thought it was weird at the time, I'm not too beat up over it. Like, honestly, kind of who cares. But no, I'm hopeful they make something great, that they take their time, they make something they like. This is the kind of transparency I want, right? When I talk about everything else, transparency is important. If they had canceled the game a year ago and didn't tell us anything, then yeah, this would be a problem. But you know, it's been what, like at most 2 months. That's totally understandable. Transparency is important, and they handled this really well. I think the statement is good. This was all handled professionally. Yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect. I'm hopeful for whatever they make next, but if that's 10 years away, that's 10 years away. The only person I feel bad for, you know, who's not a developer, is Roger Picorni, who I'm like 90% sure had this in the video game fantasy draft. I don't think it was counterpicked, so he might be able to drop it, but that's like the only one, that's the one where I'm like, ooh, that sucks that you probably took this one. But yeah, so it's because of all this Earthblade stuff that, like, I honestly probably wouldn't have even talked about the Team Cherry stuff if it wasn't for this Earthblade stuff. That's just kind of had it on my mind as well. But yeah, because that Team Cherry's probably facing the same situation. They made Hollow Knight one of the best games, and now they have to live up to that pressure again, and it's really hard to do. I hate these barrel levels, man. I know I talked about one earlier, but man, I hate these barrel levels. So our next story is Xbox. So Xbox did their first developer direct of the year. I want to be clear, it's the developer direct. This is not a Nintendo direct. This is more of a it was an hour-long show, but it's more of a personal thing. Yes, I have seen that anime. It's okay. I wish they were college students instead of, you know, high schoolers. It feels kind of icky as you know, someone who's older than college watching that show. I wish they were just college students. But yeah, it's a fine anime. It's kind of cute. I hope they just become a couple. I'm so sick of these romance animes that are, like, so scared to do anything. Just do it. Did I have an anime to talk about this week? I don't remember. Yeah. So Xbox did their developer direct. These are not Nintendo directs. These are not big showcases. Developer directs from Xbox are smaller showcases. They can be long, but they specifically focus on 1 or 2 developers. In this case, it was, 4 developers? And just talking about their new games, giving us some updates, going personally in on it. And yeah, I'll be honest, the Xbox Developer Direct, I've seen some people say they were disappointed by it, but I think the people who were expecting a Nintendo Direct. As someone who was not expecting a Nintendo Direct, yeah, no, this was basically exactly what I expected. The first thing we saw was Ninja Gaiden 4. So Ninja Gaiden, originally it's an NES game. 3 really fucking hard NES games that I would never recommend anybody play. But then in the Xbox 360 era, they basically rebooted Ninja Gaiden, and we got another 3 Ninja Gaiden games. I never played any of them. I want to say they're spectacle fighters, kind of like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that front. It's been a while, and I can't remember. I think the trailer kind of looked like that. Maybe. I'll be honest. This developer direct happened while I was at work, and I kind of half watched it, half listened to Kinda Funny react to it. So, yeah. But yeah, you know, Ninja Gaiden 4, it's coming out fall of this year. That's, you know, I know people like some of those Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden games. The originals, I will never defend. Those games are awful and have aged like, you know, they've aged like milk would be too kind. I don't know, they've aged like, what, a Whopper compared to like a Big Mac? Oh, shit. But no, seeing Ninja Gaiden 4 is good. And then on top of that, not only are we getting Ninja Gaiden 4 later this year, they shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden Black. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Which, as far... I'm pretty sure that's just a re-release of the Xbox 360 game. I don't think this is a new game. I don't think this is, right, anything new big like that. I'm pretty sure this is just, you know, a remake, remaster of an Xbox 360 game. I think it was Xbox 360. That sounds right in my head. And yeah, that's cool. You know, that's a good get, I guess. I don't know. Again, I've never really played these games, but you know, this reminds me of, you know, how Nintendo re-released Metroid Prime, you know, in the eventual lead up to Metroid Prime 4. This kind of feels like that. Like this is the re-release of one of the older games in the lead up to the new one. And I'm assuming, okay, it's available today. I know it's on Xbox and PC, but it might also be on PS5. Admittedly, I have not checked. Let me check real quick. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Black, right there. It is on PS5. So if you are in, I think this is a Koei Tecmo game, and I think it's in partner with Platinum, which is why I say it reminds me of Bayonetta. So yeah, if you're at all interested in one of these old Ninja Gaiden games, this is probably a good... I know it's the second one, not the first one, which is kind of weird, but I'm sure it's a good game. After that, we got Claire Obscura Expedition 33. We got some more information on that. I'll be honest, I don't care about this game at all. I'm not going to say it reminds me of The Order 1886, because it doesn't really. Like, it doesn't really... But that's kind of, for some reason, because of like the number and the title and whatnot, that's the first thing I think of is The Order 1886. There's an anime called Twilight Out of Focus. It's basically a gay romance anime. It released on Crunchyroll. A bunch of homophobes spammed homophobic statements in Crunchyroll's comments. So shortly after, Crunchyroll got rid of the comment section. Honestly, I don't blame them. I do not blame anybody for not having a comment section anymore. The comment section on the old Rooster Teeth website was fucking awful. YouTube comments, awful. That's why I really like College Humor. Their website doesn't have any comments whatsoever. And honestly, well, I would, you know, there's a part of me that would like to like, oh, I wonder what people are thinking about these new episodes. Like, oh, when the new Make Some Noise comes out, what are people's favorite jokes? Well, you know, it would be... You know, there's a little part of me that would love to see that. At the end of the day, I know not having a comment section is just for the best. You know, comment sections, they can be neat, but they come at a terrible price, and I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, I totally understand that. Totally valid crash out. And fuck those homophobes. So yeah, Claire Obscura Expedition 33... Did Blessing have this one in the fantasy draft, or did Paris? I don't remember. And so we got a release date for this game. It's coming out April 25th. So in just a few months, you know, that's right around the corner. And it's coming to Xbox, PS5, and presumably PC. I don't have PC written down in my notes, but I'm assuming it's coming to Xbox, PS5, and PC. Okay. Next up, we got some more on South of Midnight. Now, way back when I've been mentioning Kinda Funny's fantasy draft. And when Kinda Funny did their fantasy draft, Paris mentioned that he thought South of Midnight was coming out early this year. Like, you know, first quarter this year. And I was like, really? Because for some reason that game feels farther away than it is. But no, sure enough, he totally nailed it. It's coming out on April 8th. Coming to Xbox in PC, not coming to PS5. I think out of all the games in this showcase, this is the one not coming to PS5. Oh, and of course, all these games are also on Game Pass, by the way. I meant to mention that at the top. Everything that I just talked about is on Game Pass as well. Which is cool. I mean, I don't have Game Pass for... I've been thinking about getting Game Pass just to play that Indiana Jones game. I haven't, but I have been thinking about it. But no, I'm actually interested in South of Midnight. If it reviews well, I might pick it up. Because if it reviews well and it's on Game Pass, I can get Game Pass and play both that Indiana Jones game in South of Midnight for basically the price of one game. Though technically, it's even less than that. That sounds like a pretty good bargain. I honestly kind of like the idea of getting both the two good Xbox exclusives. I know they're not entirely Xbox exclusives. They're both on PC. One of them's coming... I think both of them are coming to PS5. Yeah, I watch anime dubbed. Right? That doesn't sound like a bad deal. You know, I was watching a TikTok the other day. Someone talking about why would anyone buy a Xbox? And, like, I kind of get it, you know, Xbox isn't always great. They're definitely behind when it comes to exclusives, despite how many studios they've bought. But every once in a while, Game Pass is good. Every once in a while, Game Pass does something great. Why do you watch dubbed? I just like dubs, man. I know people give a lot of shit to dubbed voice actors that is totally undeserved. There are some really good dubbed voice actors who do some good work. You mentioned My Dress-Up Darling. Amelie, who is Mirren? What, the main character, right, the main girl. I think she does a great job in My Dress-Up Darling. I think she's a good voice actor, and there's a ton of other good ones. So yeah, I feel like people give anime voice dub a bad rap because they grew up watching the One Piece dub on 4Kids, which is the worst dub in the world. And as a result, they judge every dub the same way. And that's just not right. So the last game at the Xbox Showcase was Doom: The Dark Ages. I am genuinely really excited for Doom: The Dark Ages. I loved the original, the 2016 Doom. The original, yeah. But I loved the 2016 Doom. It's really fun. It's really good. The Switch port of 2016 Doom is fantastic. If you have never played Doom 2016, getting it on Switch is totally a viable option. And then Doom Eternal. Admittedly, I never played Doom Eternal, but I heard it wasn't as good as Doom 2016. But I still heard it was good. And I've also heard the Switch port is good. So maybe I'm probably, hopefully, maybe gonna finally play Doom Eternal and then playing Doom: The Dark Ages, which also did get a May 15th release date. So that's right around the corner. Man, literally every game they talked about this showcase, outside of the first one, right, Ninja Gaiden 4, the other 4 games they talked about all come out before the Switch 2. So even if Nintendo doesn't have any big game planned, which I think they do, they just haven't said anything yet. We've got other games, right? Xbox is clearly showing up. For once in their life, Xbox is doing something. But everything we saw of Doom: The Dark Ages looks great. Also coming to PS4 if you're at all interested in that. But no, I genuinely think, yeah, the Doom games are great. The new one looks good. You know, I'm excited. You know, you got a robot mech dragon thing, and after reading Onxy Storm, oh, you better believe I'm down for some dragon fights. I watch subbed because it feels like they give more emotion in their voice acting. The anime I watch dubbed are Dragon Ball and Pokemon. I still like dubbed. I'll watch it. I just prefer subbed over. See, I hear that thing a lot. That, oh, they give more voice in the subbed. But there's a part of me that's like, how do you know that's good voice acting? Like, sure, you know, they scream really loud. They put their whole heart into it when they cry. But what if that's actually not good voice acting? What if we think that's good because we don't speak the language? But in actuality, it's very, like, over the top. It's very campy. Right? And then, of course, right, you can look the other way around as well. Like, I know in Japan there's big debates over whether or not you should watch King of the Hill subbed or dubbed. I remember this level. Oh my god, I hate this level. I remember this one. Oh shit. So that's kind of the, I don't know. Again, I say watch whatever you want. There is no wrong way to watch anime, and if someone says there is, they're a fucking asshole about it. Watch whatever you want. There's no wrong answer. Have I been watching? You know, I guess that let's go to WIBE real quick. Have I been watching any anime recently? You know what show I did start? I did start it dubbed. I started the Apothecary Diaries. So the Apothecary Diaries, I think there's 24 episodes. I only watched the first 12. I'll get around to the second 12 eventually. It's an anime. It's a girl who is trained as an apothecary by her father. And she eventually gets kidnapped and is forced to work for the Emperor. But, you know, because she's an apothecary, she knows a lot about poisons, she knows a lot about medicines. She's able to help the queen, the queen consort, whatever her name is, save her baby who is sick. She becomes a poison taster. There's elements of like a romance anime in there, but honestly, if I had to describe it as a genre, I'd say it's more of a mystery show. Like, it very much feels like a detective show where they're like, you know, someone will be poisoned and they'll have to figure out, you know, who poisoned them. What was their motivation? Why did they do this? It very much is like, it's got elements of a detective show, but it also has elements of a romance, because the girl is working for this, like, eunuch, but he's clearly not, like, she thinks he's a eunuch, but as the viewer, it's like, clearly he's not a eunuch, like, clearly there's something going on there. But no, the first season was really good. I really enjoyed it. And first 12 episodes. And I'll finish it eventually. But yeah, I started that, around New Year's. I feel like if you only watch shonen, then your taste is kind of boring. But if you watch shonen romance or some other genres, and you have good taste, hey, I don't judge people for what. I honestly say just watch whatever you watch. Right? I watch a bunch of shitty isekai animes, but not because they're good, but because they're garbage, and I kind of, every once in a while, you love garbage. I watch isekais for the same reason people watch, like, Survivor, or, you know, The Housewives of Beverly Hills, right? Because they're garbage, but it's my garbage. Anime is way better than modern Disney. Disney has gone downhill. I don't know, man. You know, kind of, but also I did really like Inside Out 2. I'll say, but nothing else from Disney really impressed me, but Inside Out 2 was really good. And Disney TV has some really good shows. Too bad they keep fucking canceling them. Be that The Owl House or Moon Girl, right? Disney cancels all their good animated television. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that Snow White. But then again, I'm also not really looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon. I will probably see that one, but I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, that's the one anime I watched. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of anything else I've seen recently. Okay, I made it past that. This level's kicking my ass. What? Shit. Yeah, oh my god, I suck. So what do I have for WIBE today? I went to Taco Bell. I played a DS game. We're playing Donkey Kong right now. I watched Harley Quinn. I'll rewatch the Sonic movie. I got a book to talk about. We're going to talk about a book. And then we'll finish off with the Marble League. Because the Marble League is back in season for the All-Stars, baby. And for some reason, they keep making their characters that are supposed to be white-black. Well, it's not racist to make a white character. Honestly, I'm going to... Creators have the right to make a character however they want. And honestly, no change has really... I'm fine with any of the changes they've made. Nothing has really offended me. Right? Admittedly, I'm not white, but I've literally... I don't care. Especially because the original is always there as well. Yeah, no, like that does not bother me at all. You know, just do whatever. Plus, I was reading something about the comic book industry, and the reason why we see more classic characters revived as, you know, a different race, a different gender, instead of creating new characters, is because when you let's say you're working for Marvel or Disney or anybody else. I may look it, but I'm not. I'm Hispanic. There is a difference. Of course, it's a separate checkbox on the U.S. Census, but it is a separate checkbox. But no. So when you work for like Marvel or Disney, DC, a lot of these big corporations, when you make an original character, you do not own that character. That character is owned by Marvel or Disney or DC Comics. So but when you take an old character and revitalize them, right, that licensing issue becomes less of a problem. Right? Miles Morales became the new Spider-Man. Right? Because, hey, it's just Spider-Man again. Right? The rights issues are a lot less of a problem. Presumably Wally West's The Flash, the second Wally West Flash, kind of works the same way. That, right, it's easier to revive characters and, you know, not have to worry about the rights and change their race than it is to create a brand new character that you then don't own any of the copyright for. Like, someone explained that, and I kind of get it. Honestly, I think that makes perfect sense. Does it cover every situation? Obviously not. And, like, sometimes, you know, these Marvel shows have to dig deep to find characters to bring back instead of creating new ones. I'm looking at you, Scarlet Scarab. But, yeah. So, I went to Taco Bell. I went to Taco Bell, and my name's not Dipper. Fuck, that's a reference. Alex Hirsch did a charity stream recently, and he had there were so many great lines, so many great moments. You know, they did a whole Dipper and Mabel Sings Chapel Roan. Masterpiece, baby. So yeah, okay. I don't know how I got on that. So Taco Bell has some new items. They have dipping burritos, as they're calling them. So a few months ago, Taco Bell did like a steak street taco, or it was something like that. It was like I think it was called like a steak. It was something like that. It was a steak taco, and it was like 2 mini tacos, some salsa, and whatnot, and they were really good. So when I saw these they called them dipping burritos, right? It's 2 little steak-filled burritos, or you can get chicken, of course. And they come with like a chipotle sauce. I was like, you know what? That might be okay. They were not that good. They tasted fine, I guess. They do the grilled cheese burrito thing, where they cover the top of it with cheese and then kind of grill it down. Which to be fair, I really like the grilled cheese burrito. I will stand by the grilled cheese burrito at Taco Bell is pretty decent. But yeah, the big problem with these dipping burritos is they're actually really small. Like, they're literally the size of my, you know, pointer finger. They're pretty small. Yeah, you get 2 of them, but when a beefy 5-layer burrito is basically double the size, that's kind of underwhelming. What nacho fries? Why can't they just make nacho fries permanent? I think they actually did do that. I know they've got a new like loaded nacho fries that has like steak and whatnot on it. Admittedly, I did not try that, but no, they might have actually made nacho fries permanent. The chicken nuggets aren't. The chicken nuggets aren't permanent, but I think the nacho fries might actually be. I think that was a change they made in 2025. Maybe late 2024. I don't know. Taco Bell was supposed to have their big, basically a Taco Bell Direct. Every January, for at least the past like 2 years, Taco Bell has done like a Taco Bell Direct. But because of the California wildfires, they didn't do one this year. At least they delayed it. It'll happen eventually. But yeah. So that was the first thing I got at Taco Bell, was these dipping burritos. I was unimpressed. They weren't like terrible. I didn't hate them. I just probably wouldn't get them again. I did hate that level, though. That level sucked. I'm so glad we're done with it. So yeah, I was not impressed with the dipping burritos. The other thing I had, though, was, if you've seen, dirty soda has become very popular recently. I feel like every place is making a dirty soda. You know, admittedly, it's very much like a Mormon thing. Like, that's where it starts. And then it kind of spreads everywhere. You know, Sonic did one. Sonic's the first one that I saw do one. So a dirty soda is a soda with cream in it. It's like a vanilla cream. I think the Taco Bell one's a vanilla cream. Sonic does a coconut cream. And yeah, that's kind of, it's cream. Sometimes there's lime. Sometimes there's coconut. I don't know. It's a Mormon trend. But it's supposedly really popular. They do you can do it in anything. You can do it in root beer. I've had it in orange soda before. It's pretty good in orange soda. And honestly, it was pretty good in Baja Blast. It was a Baja Blast. They have 3 versions. The normal Baja Blast with the sweet cream in it, with the vanilla cream. Baja Blast Freeze with the vanilla cream. And a strawberry Baja Blast with the freeze with the cream in it. It's not ice cream. It's more, I describe it more like coffee creamer. Maybe whipped cream is closer, but I'd say coffee creamer. Which I know seems weird, but trust me, I think, in my opinion, it works pretty well. I kind of get the appeal of it. I enjoyed it, you know. I enjoy the Sonic ones are pretty decent the times I've had them. Admittedly, I'm not a big coconut guy, but the Sonic ones are okay. But yeah, no, I think the Taco Bell one was actually pretty good. It's kind of like, I've seen, there's like a big soda trend, right? Soda's the big thing nowadays, and it's entirely the Mormons' fault, because, you know, that's their vice. But they've been experimenting a lot, and I think they've come up with some good ideas. To be honest, when I tried an ice cream float for the first time in my class in 2nd grade or whatever, I didn't really like it much. I don't like ice cream and soda. See, I like an ice cream float, but I would never get one over just normal ice cream. Right? I feel like I would rather have like a Frosty from Wendy's over like root beer with a Frosty dumped in it. Does that make sense? Like, they're okay, but I always think there's something better. But I think because these dirty sodas, right? They don't need to be like refrigerated. You know, they're a lot cheaper. Like a root beer float would be like an extra like $2, whereas this is just like an extra 30 cents. Right? It's not that much more expensive. It's probably closer to 50 cents actually. But yeah, I just had the normal dirty Baja Blast. I will at some point try the strawberry one. I don't know when, but, you know, at some point I do want to try it. Because I actually really liked it. Out of all the new things at Taco Bell, it's actually the one thing I will recommend. Nothing else really impressed me, but that one thing, that was good. This boss is kicking my ass. I'm really struggling here. Yeah, that was my trip to Taco Bell. Did I try any other foodstuffs? I think that was it. I went and got chicken at one point, but that was a whole other thing. The chicken was okay. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Maybe I'll think of something later when we do Marble League. So what games have I been playing? I haven't even had ice cream in a while. I eat it slow because my two front teeth and bottom are sensitive. So I just can't bite it. I basically scrape it with the top of my teeth. Yeah, I've got my own teeth problems, but they're all in like the back. Like they're all in my like my way back of my teeth. That, you know, struggle with that. So yeah, I get that. So the one game I played this week, outside of Donkey Kong, which we are playing right now, and I put some time into Splatoon? Did I play Splatoon this week? I probably played some Splatoon at some point this week. The one game I did play was so I've been playing a bunch of classic Mario and Kirby games. I played Kirby's Dream Land, Dream Land 2. I started Kirby 64, I haven't beaten it yet. But the next game I played, because we did Mario Land, I played Mario World. I booted up New Super Mario Bros. DS. So this is the 2004, I think it was 2004, maybe 2005, New Super Mario Bros. Game. This is the one that started it all, you know? Everyone always talks about how unoriginal the modern New Super Mario Bros. Games are. But playing New Super Mario Bros. DS again for the first time in years now. It's probably been maybe 2017, maybe earlier than that. Playing it again, I honestly really enjoyed it. I think the problem is the later New Super Mario Bros. Games are very much just copy and paste. Like, oh, you know, this game had a level where you jump on a Wiggler's back, so now the other two games are going to have levels where you jump on Wiggler's back. Oh, this one had a level where you ride a bone roller coaster? Well, now these other games are going to have levels where you ride a bone roller coaster. Like, they very much, all four of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, they very much do the same thing over and over again. Specifically the Wii U version. The Wii U version is especially bad at that. It's not a bad game, mind you. None of the New Super Mario Bros. Games are bad. They all just kind of do the same thing. But New Super Mario Bros. DS actually has a lot of interesting ideas. Right, you bring up how Mario Wonder is unique. One of the biggest problems with Mario Wonder is its bosses. You basically just fight Bowser Jr. 4 times. And it kind of sucks. New Super Mario Bros. DS, you fight a bunch of different bosses. You fight like a mummy cactus. You fight Petey Piranha at one point. There's a bunch of different bosses in that game. It's actually really creative. There's a lot of fun levels. The big gimmick of that game was like the Mega Mushroom. I think I only got the Mega Mushroom in like 2 levels. It actually didn't come up that often. But no, I did not play every level. I literally played World 1, World 2, World 4, World 5, and then World 8? That sounds right. What even happened to the Koopalings? Did they die or go to college or something? I have no idea. I don't know. There's a good chance the Koopalings come back in Mario Kart 8. Or Mario Kart 9, I mean. I'm not ruling anything out. I don't know. I don't like the Koopalings personally. There was a period of time from basically New Super Mario Brothers to the modern day to like Yeah, I guess Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, maybe a little farther. Where the Mario Maker 2. There was a time from New Super Mario Bros. Wii to Mario Maker 2 where the Koopalings were just in everything. And I'm so sick of them. I kind of never want to see them again. I'm okay with Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. is fine. But the rest of the Koopalings, they just kind of suck. Mario Kart X, not Mario Kart 9. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I think it's more likely that this is the game with a subtitle, right? I'm not going to say it's going to be called, like, Double Dash, but I think it's going to be something like that. Mario Kart Horizons. I don't know. It's going to be something. But no, I don't care for the Koopalings. They're I don't know. I feel like there are so many more interesting characters you can pick. And instead, it's just, hey, you know, the roster's going to be filled with 8 Koopalings. Like, I think Smash Bros. Did it right. Like, Smash Bros. Has all the Koopalings. But, they're all skins of Bowser Jr. That's, I think, the way to go about it. Horizons. This ain't Forza. I don't know, man. My conspiracy theory is that this new Mario Kart might be Forza. I am not ruling that out yet. Until the point at which Nintendo says no, my answer is maybe. I think VR Mario Kart would be cool. I don't hate that. I feel like because I 100% believe the Switch 2 is going to have a VR headset. Right? They're gonna kind of like, you know how Nintendo had like the Labo headset where you could slide the Switch into the headset? I think they're gonna make a headset for the Switch 2 where you put your Switch 2 in it and you can play, and you can use the 2 new Joy-Cons as like the controllers like you would like a PlayStation Move controller. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but my guess is Nintendo's gonna have a VR headset on Switch 2. I'm calling it right now, because they clearly experimented with it. I just realized I should have waited to open that bridge. Labo... You know, people always talk about how, oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 isn't original. Oh, Nintendo's playing it so safe with the Switch 2. They do shit like Labo all the time. Right? If we get Labo 2 on Switch, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think we are. But they're going to do something weird like that. We're going to get Nintendo Switch Sleep. You know, they literally just released an alarm clock like 3 months ago. Nintendo hasn't gotten any less weird just because the Switch 2 isn't like very weird. But no, you know, I'll defend elements of Labo, but that's a story for another day. But no, I'm gonna stand by. I think if Nintendo's gonna do a VR, my guess would be Mario in VR. Nope, I have a Nintendo Alarmo. You don't have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online to use it. Nope, you do not have to do that. Trust me, I've been using it for like 3 or 4 months now. I've woken up to the sounds of Pikmin every morning. Okay, admittedly, sometimes I've used the Mario when we play. Since we've been replaying Mario Odyssey, I've been using the Mario Odyssey effects. I used the Mario Kart effects. Admittedly, one of the Mario Kart effects don't immediately wake me up. Like, it only woke me up after like 10 minutes, whereas like the Pikmin one gets me instantly. VR Mario Kart or VR Animal Crossing, actually, maybe. You can play Breath of the Wild with Labo VR. And I hear it's got some problems, but it's okay. And I don't hate the idea of VR Mario Kart, but I feel like if they're going to do anything, in the same way that Astro Bot is a kind of a ripoff of Nintendo games. Okay, ripoff's a strong word. I could see Nintendo ripping off Astro Bot's Rescue Mission to make a VR Mario game. I might make that prediction, right? That I could totally see that happening. And I don't hate that idea. Okay, I went off on a wild VR tangent there. New Super Mario Bros. DS, I recommend it, honestly. Is it as good as Mario Wonder? No. But it's still pretty good. I think it holds up. The levels are short, snappy. They've got some creative ideas. It really, like, New Super Mario Brothers was supposed to come in and reinvent the Mario franchise after not having a new 2D Mario game in almost, like, 15 years. Okay, it was probably closer to 10. After not having a new 2D Mario in 10 years. I honestly think New Super Mario Bros. DS did a really good job. The Wii game, on the other hand, I cannot defend that one. Admittedly, I have not played the Wii New Super Mario Bros. Since it released. I've replayed New Super Mario Bros. 2. I've replayed New Super Mario Bros. Wii U. I've replayed New Super Luigi U. I have never replayed Super Mario Bros. Wii. Maybe I should. I've watched more YouTube videos on it than I've actually played it. Right? Especially counting speedruns. About the first person Mario Kart and Mario Kart 7, who knows? Yeah, anything's possible. But yeah, no, I think because New Super Mario Brothers is attached to the Wii game and the Wii U game, it gets a bad rap. I don't think it should. I feel like New Super Mario Brothers DS should get more credit. And New Super Mario Bros. 2, the one where you have to collect 1 million coins, if you want, I also will stand by as an okay game. I really just don't like the Wii and Wii U ones. I think that's what it comes down to. I like the 3DS and the DS ones. The Wii ones feel so generic. And now that we have Mario Wonder, Mario Wonder just knocks it out of the park. So that's the main game I've been playing. Of course, we've also been sitting here playing Donkey Kong for the past hour and a half. And, I mean, I'm having a good time. You know, I have definitely struggled. That wave level kicked my ass. But other than that, you know, Donkey Kong's been okay here. I know this game gets harder the more we get into it. Like, so far, you know, I'm up, 30-something lives? I don't actually know how many lives I have. I'm doing pretty okay. But I know this game gets hard. And that's not even counting, the bonus levels. I know some of the bonus levels in this game are fucking ridiculous. But no, I'm having a good time. Visually, I know visually this game isn't, amazing or anything. But I don't hate it. I don't think it looks terror. I haven't seen anything and gone oh god, my eyes. It burns. It burns. Okay, that was the wrong face. It burns my eyes. I remember the 3DS, I couldn't beat one of the desert levels with the mud and the quicksand. Yeah. But no, I don't hate. I'm having a good time here with this game. Let's see. I got 28 lives. Okay, I lost 10 in the wave level. Yeah, no, I'm having a good time with this one. You know, again, I have been waiting to replay this game for a long time now. I'm more excited though for Tropical Freeze. Because after we do this one, I'm going to play Tropical Freeze. And Tropical Freeze, I know, is a great game. Also, again, I haven't replayed it since the Wii U era, but I loved Tropical Freeze when it came out. Bitch and a half. Also very hard. I don't think it's as hard as this one, especially now that it has that new Funky Kong mode. And also we're playing on modern difficulty, but whatever, you know. But no, I feel like Tropical Freeze just kind of took what worked here and made it even better. It does kind of suck that we never got a third one. Donkey Kong, you know, Returns 3 with K. Rool in it. I felt like that would have been a lot of fun. And I know there's a lot of rumors that Retro was working on something that got canceled. Whatever. I'm having an okay time. You know, I've played worse. You know, it's Donkey Kong. And honestly, so I'll fully admit this. I have never beat the SNES Donkey Kong games. I have played the original, right? Donkey Kong Country, made by Rare. I have played that game. I have never beaten it. And I have never played Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3. I know one of those games isn't great. I want to say it's 3. I want to say 2 might be the best one. I know I've never played 3, and I don't really have any interest in it. But I should probably play the original Donkey Kong Countries. I've also not played Donkey Kong 64, but I have no... Unless Donkey Kong 64 gets a full remake that fixes all of its problems, I will never play Donkey Kong 64. No thank you, I am good, that ain't my game. I barely put up with what Banjo-Kazooie is, right? Banjo-Kazooie also has its own fair share of headaches, but I'm more willing to put up with that compared to some of the shit in Donkey Kong 64. Because unlike that, I've seen speedruns of Donkey Kong 64, and that is not fun. But yeah, these are the only 2 video games I've played. Other than that, you know, I'm going to play Kirby 64. I'll get around to it. I will finish it. I just don't know when, you know. Not that Kirby 64 has been bad by any means. I've been having a good time with it. It's just, I don't know, I felt like playing New Super Mario Bros. DS. So I did. Because admittedly, it only took me like a few hours to beat. Right, because you only got to do 5 worlds. Because you can skip worlds 3 and 7 or 3 and 8. I think it's 3 and 7. You can skip worlds 3 and 7. Or 4, maybe it's 4 and 7. I don't know, you can skip 2 of them. And that's exactly what I did. Because you have to take the optional paths to get to it. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So yeah. TV shows. I want Harley Quinn. We got season 5, episode 2. The 2 plots of this episode where there's... Let's start with the Harley plot. She is babysitting King Shark's kids. You know, they're little terrors that are going around, you know, biting people's arms and legs off. And she's trying to get into some fancy pants club. Bane and his BDSM girlfriend, wife, and their adopted child show up. You know, that's fun. I'm glad to see the BDSM girlfriend / wife back. Because it was kind of... Because she didn't show up in... I think it was Kite Man. And I was kind of like, why isn't she here? You know, she was a fun addition to the lore. But no, it's cool to see her again here. You know, Bane... Bane's whatever. Bane is whatever. The King Shark kids, we mostly just focus on one of them. I think his name was Sean, who just likes to... Right, he's not teething, he just likes to bite things. And, you know, he's got his own, you know, series of annoyances. But I think it was a fine, cute episode on that part. You know, it gets very bloody near the end. Right, when they start actually, like, biting people's arms and legs off. But, you know, other than that, that was solid. The Poison Ivy plot, on the other hand, is a lot more serious. Because we basically get Ivy's origin story, kind of. We see her in college. She was working under this professor, Woodrew? It's something like that, like Woodrew. And basically, while she was in college, she was creating Frank. And this Woodrew guy saw Frank and was like, oh, I can steal him and use him to, you know, basically do whatever I want. Get a grant, they'll give me whatever I need. And so he tries to kill Ivy, Pamela. And in order to save herself from the poisons, she injects herself with her own serum, turning her skin green. Now, my one question... It's a good moment all around. We see her backstory. She's got her conversation with Woodrew where she's like holding him hostage before, you know, killing him, kind of. Is really good. It's really well done. But I swear in the earlier seasons, season 1 or season 2, they go into Pamela's head, and we see her as a kid, and her skin is green. And they mention that she's a... whatever the DC equivalent of mutant is. It's not... what's it? What is the D... it's not Muto. It's DC equivalent of mutant is... I don't remember. Because I know in the original story, you know, she's just, you know, a doctor, Pamela. Right? In the older comics and whatnot. In the Batman the Animated Show. And at some point her skin became green and, you know, eventually she became a plant herself. God, we don't talk about heroes in crisis. Fuck that. But, yeah, I swear there was like an issue where she had green skin as a child. Like, that was a thing already established in this show. I don't know, I'd have to go back and look, and I wouldn't even know where to look. But I swear that was a thing. But other than that, I think the episode was good. Of course, you know, the show's doing a lot of things right now. They're in Metropolis. Lena Luthor is clearly building towards something. We know Brainiac's here. This Woodrue guy becomes like a plant. Right? He becomes a tree at the end. So clearly, you know, he's going to come back. But yeah, I think it was all around a decent episode. So yeah, you know, Harley Quinn, I still stand by, is a great show. And yeah, well, I know the more recent seasons have been a little weaker. I don't hate it or anything. So the other thing I watched today was I sat down and watched Sonic 3 again. The Sonic movie came to digital sometime earlier this week. And I was like, oh, of course I'm going to watch Sonic 3 again. So I sat down today after I got off work, you know, before starting the stream tonight, and watched Sonic 3. And yeah, it's still really good. I still have the same problems I do with it. I think it was Lonely Goomba on Twitter. Lonely Goomba on Twitter pointed out that, you know, near the end of Sonic 3, Gerald Robotnik comes out and he reveals that he was using Eggman this whole time. He's actually like this suicidal old man, and right, his plan is to destroy the world. And it's a really great moment. But it's then undercut with the praying mantis fight. And, you know, Gerald spanking Ivo. And it kind of like, you have this really serious moment that you then just completely undo by, you know, not taking it seriously. And that if they had just taken it seriously, and like, you can still have Robotnik be goofy, but Gerald should have been 100% serious. That would have been better. No, I have not watched Squid Games Season 2. I saw the first one, it's good, but yeah, I haven't watched the second season. But yeah, no, Sonic, so that's still a problem with the movie, you know, there's a lot of Jim Carrey in it. Most of it I don't mind. I still think Jim Carrey is still you know, he brings a very unique Jim Carrey energy to the movies that I don't hate, because I'm a fan of Jim Carrey. So I do like that. Overall, I still think the movie is still very solid. I definitely still stand by my 8 out of 10. Season 2 is good, but it's an awful cliffhanger at the end. I'd say Season 1 is better. Yeah. I also need to watch Severance Season 2. I think we're, 2 episodes in now? And I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, no, I think 8 out of 10 for Sonic. I still stand by that score. You know, Keanu Reeves is great. I do like his performance a little bit more the second time. You know, now that I kind of know what it is, I can appreciate it a little bit more. And yeah, I think it's all around just a very solid movie. You know, the Sonic movies get better and better with each one. And you know, the next one, we're doing Metal Sonic, we're doing Amy. My hope, I've seen a lot of fan casts for Amy. And the most common one I see, which I don't want, is Awkwafina. I don't want Awkwafina to be Amy. If she is, it's not going to be the end of the world, but that's not what I want. Instead, my fan cast is Kimiko Glenn. She's a voice actress, she does music. I think she would be fantastic as Amy. And you can give Amy a whole musical number, because again, she knows how to sing. I think that would be great. That's my fan cast for Amy. Other than that, they can do whatever they want. I also still want a Shadow movie. Shadow and Stone, Rouge the Bat, all that stuff. We meet, they go fight the devil from the Bible. Or whatever Shadow's dad is. God. But I still want all that. But no, they announced that the next Sonic movie is coming out March 2027. And yeah, these movies are still good. They get better and better with each one. Admittedly, I don't know how much better they're gonna be able to get from this one. Because, at a certain point, once you start introducing all of Sonic's stupid friends, it's that'll eventually start causing problems. Right? One of the things that these movies have the benefit of is, right, they basically only introduce 1 to 2 new characters per movie. But the longer you do these stories, the more characters you have to introduce. And eventually that'll create problems. But for the moment, the movies are good. We got a good Sonic movie trilogy. So whatever they do, it can't be, at least we got it's like Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda 4 may not be amazing, but at least the original trilogy is fantastic. Kung Fu Panda 2 is still the best DreamWorks movie. So how much am I really going to complain? But yeah, God, Sonic, man, it was so good. All the hype moments are really hype. I still think it's fucking hilarious. Just an all-around really good, really solid movie. Keanu Reeves is great. Jim Carrey is doing his whole Jim Carrey thing, and it's not what you need. But, if you're going to get Jim Carrey, it's what I'd want. And the rest of, Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Idris Elba as Knuckles, and, I can't remember the woman who plays Tails. They're all good in it as well. The human, I feel like they have found the perfect balance. Would I mind a Sonic 4 with no humans? Not at all. I totally feel like they could pull off Sonic 4 with no humans. But honestly, I think the third movie found the perfect balance of just enough humans, but not having too much, right? The thing that the Godzilla movies have been struggling with for, 11 years now? Yeah, the Sonic movies got on their third try. Admittedly, Godzilla's only had 4 tries, but still. They still haven't got it perfect, whereas Sonic nailed it. I kind of want to watch Godzilla -1 again. I know it's on Netflix. There's a movie I'll watch, right? You talked about anime subbed or dubbed. I'm pretty sure Godzilla -1 on Netflix is dubbed. Because when I saw it in theaters, it was subbed. I would probably watch that movie again subbed. I don't think I'd watch the dub. I don't know. Maybe I would just to kind of compare it. Just out of curiosity's sake. But no, I don't need to see that one dubbed. Alright, let's talk about some books. And then we'll do Marble League. We'll finish this world. Whatever it is, we'll finish this world, and then we'll go do Marble League. So, what have I... So, I've been reading Onxy Storm. Is it? Yeah, I admittedly also watched Squid Game subtitled. I don't know if that one's dubbed, but yeah. So Onxy Storm is the third book in the Imperium series by Rebecca Yarros. If you've never heard of these books, it's about the main character is Violet Sorengale. She is a scribe who, after her brother and her father's death, she's forced to join the Riders Quadrant. And riders are people who ride dragons, right? It's kind of, you know, fantasy. They're going to a dragon rider college where they learn to ride dragons. Tons of people die. It is definitely, like, honestly, if you removed the spice, the porn, from these books, I think these would be the next Harry Potter. I think these would be as popular as Harry Potter. But because they do have smut, spice, porn in them, they'll never hit that level, but they're still very popular. And last year, I read the first two. I read both books last year. At least I think it was last year. It might have been 2 years ago, but I think it was last year. So the third one came out this week. It came out. And honestly, it's, you know, I'm not going to act like they're great books. I'm not going to act like they're anything amazing or anything special. They've definitely got their problems. Plenty of them, actually. But I do enjoy them. I think the world, you know, the world building's kind of interesting. I clearly don't remember any of the character names. I cannot, like, outside of, like, the main character, Violet, you know, Zayden, Riddick, Rhiannon, Imogen, and, like, a few other, Karen and Andarna, Segale, right? Those are some of the dragons. Outside of, like, some of those character names, I have forgotten almost all of the character names, right? Like, I remember those few, and that's about it. So jumping back into this book, after, you know, not having read... I read Iron Flame probably like a year ago. I remembered fucking nothing. Oh my... Like, I remember the plot details, more or less. Like, there are some... Like, early on, they bring up that Andarna's flame killed a Venin. The Venin are, like, you know, the evil magic users. They bring that up. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I don't remember that happening in the last book, but I'll take your word for it, book. But yeah, basically the plot picks off basically where the last one ended off. So the first book is all about the Flyers, the Riders, the Dragon Riders versus the Griffin Flyers. That's kind of the first book. Until the very end, where you find out... Okay, not the very end. Like, probably like 2/3 of the way. You find out there's these Venin, which are like these evil... You know, they used to be human, but now they draw power from the earth, literally stealing magic for themselves. Instead of riding dragons, they create their own called Wyvern. And, you know, it's all really good. It's entertaining. Right? I'm not going to act like it's like high art or anything. This ain't The Great Gatsby. But it's entertaining. You know, I enjoy it. I have fun with it. You know, the porns, you know, unlike My Dress Up Darling, at least these characters are in fucking college. They're all in their 20s. Yeah. But yeah, I've been the new book. It's a little slower to start off, you know, because their first big problem is that at the end of the last book, there's basically wards that keep the evil Venin away, and they break in the previous book. But at the end of the previous book, they were able to fix them, but now the Flyers can't use their magic. So that's their first task, is they've got to figure out, like, how to fix that. And they figure that out in, like, the first, like, 5 chapters. So, like, that makes sense, you know, I was kind of expecting that. And then, you know, there's all this stuff about, like, oh, well, can the Riders and the Flyers get along? Oh, them constantly fighting. Military leadership in these books are fucking incompetent. And I get it, right? It's supposed to be the U.S. military. The U.S. military is filled with incompetent people who just fail upwards beyond their position. I get it. But, God, these characters drive me crazy. But hey, in Japan, it's not weird because their age of consent is 16. Previously 13, so for them, also the age of consent is... I still think it's kind of... Even if the age of consent is 13, I still think it's kind of weird. Specifically for me, an older man, right? Someone in their mid-20s watching it, that's still kind of weird. Like, yes, am I putting my Western viewpoint on it? totally. But I still think it's kind of weird. Especially because the age of consent should not be 13. But that's semantics. Like I said, yeah, I know. They raised it up. So yeah, so in these books, you know, so some of the things I have liked so far. Early on, they establish that basically Zayden, the boyfriend, becomes a teacher, right? He's working at the school, teaching them how to, you know, use their magic, their signets in combat. Real interesting, but it's against the rules, the codex, for a student and teacher to be dating. For very obvious, you know, sane reasons. So I was like, oh, okay, they have to break up. I like that. You know, the boyfriend, Zayden, became a Venin, you know, he drawed from the earth, and clearly that's going to have consequences, you know, he's quicker to anger, he's, you know, losing control, because her whole point is she wants to cure him. She has two goals in this book, to cure him, and to find the other, dragons like Andarna. I'm just going to they're called, like, Eards or something like that. They're iridescent dragons. So that's her two main goals. And, like, clearly, the cure for him isn't going to happen in this book. You know, there's supposed to be two more after this one. Obviously, they aren't going to cure him. But, you know, they're clearly going to go find the iridescent dragons. That's clearly going to be the main plot. And that's kind of where they're going. But I do have some thoughts. So, when they go... At one point, they go on, like, a scouting mission outside of the border. Outside of the wards. And when they do, they get attacked. Tyrn, the dragon, almost dies. And then they get greeted by... She's not a sage. They call her a... I don't remember what the word they use is. It's like sage, but a Venin. She gets greeted by one of the villains who offers to train her. And offers to train the boyfriend. And I'm kind of starting to think, right, the military leadership in this world is completely incompetent. I get that. And I understand the Venin are set up as evil because they literally drain people's souls, right? They steal their magic. So, like, obviously they're evil. But I think there's something else going on. I'm only 20 chapters in, so I don't know everything, obviously. But I'm very suspicious that something else is going on with the Venin. That this Venin who wants to train her... They might still be evil, but clearly the government she's working for is just as evil, just in different ways. And that may be... Right, because the book's trying to lead up to them getting a cure for Zayden. To undo him becoming a Venin, to turn him back to normal. But what if that's just not the... What if the solution... isn't that at all? Like, she can't undo that, clearly, as the book is trying to establish. It's very, like, that's my conspiracy theory. 20 chapters in, that's where I think it's going. But, you know, I'll keep reading and find out. You know, a few people have died. They burned down a village at one point. Overall, you know, it's been okay. They introduce her ex-boyfriend. Like, in the previous book, we see Zayden's ex-girlfriend. In this one, we get Violet's ex-boyfriend. And there's all this elements of confusing, because I thought, like, wouldn't the solution just be the prince? But no, you know, instead it's this guy, and you know, I've got a lot of thoughts, but you know, we'll talk more about this next week. All I wanted to get is my conspiracy theory. We'll talk more about this next week. All right, let's take a pause right here, and let's boot up the Marble League, shall we? I want to do Marble League tonight. We got 2 events, so we're going to do those 2 events. Let's see, Marble League. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying the book. I'm not going to act like it's anything amazing, mind you. But, you know, I've been enjoying it. It's kind of felt slow at some points. Like, I thought I would, like 2 days ago, because I've been basically reading it nonstop. But I've been trying to, like, get it done. And it's like, oh my god, I'm all of a sudden, like, 20, you know, I thought I was, like, 20 chapters in. No, I was, like, 15. So, you know, some chapters take some progress. So what is the Marble League? So let me pull it up here. So, okay, I guess, you know, might as well go over it. Let me get that. Let me get the monitor up. So the Marble League is marble sports, right? It's 16 teams that are competing in different marble-related sports over here on YouTube, right? You can find them at Jella's Marble Runs, right? And they do different events. You know, there's usually a Marble Olympics that happens every year. I'm a big fan, you know, and currently they're doing Marble All-Stars. So, like, the idea behind Marble All-Stars is it's the best of the best teams. So, right here we have the Savage Speeders, who won in 2016 and 2020, the O'Rangers, who won in 2017, the Midnight Wisps, who won in 2018, the Raspberry Racers, who won in 2019, Mellow Yellow won in 21, Pinkies won in 2022, Crazy Cat's Eyes won in 23, Momo won in 2024. And then there are the other teams, right? So those are all the winners, and these are all, like, all the other, you know, popular teams. There's the Green Ducks, the Oceanics, the Hazers, the Menti Maniacs, my team, Team Galactic, the best team. Okay, they're actually the fourth best, but they're my best. I love them. I love them so much. Balls of Chaos, Team Primary, and the Limers. We have no idea why the Limers are here. And right, there are tons of other teams. These are just, there's, I think, 32 teams overall. These are just, you know, the 16 best, the best of the best. And the Limers are also here. Yeah, why the Snowballs or the Bumblebees are, like, these team. I don't know why the Balls of Chaos, Team Primary, and the Limers are here. I mean, I guess I kind of understand Balls of Chaos, maybe. But the Snowballs should be here, and the Bumblebees should be here. I don't know why they're not. But you just pick a team and root for them, you know, hopefully your team wins. In the previous season Marble League, in the winter events, my team got their fucking asses kicked. We didn't come in last. We came in like 14 out of 16. We won a single gold medal at the very end, but other than that, it didn't go well. So this is Marble League All-Stars. It is 8 events. So this is 8 events, you know, best of the best. And yeah, pick a team, root for your team. I'm rooting for my Team Galactic. You know, we had an awful season last year. Things went terribly wrong. I'm totally prepared to have my heart broken again, but we have our new coach, Celeste, and hopefully she's going to come in. You know, I'll be honest, going into this Marble League, I expect nothing. Let me turn that. Let's put it right around there. I expect nothing from our team. I mean, it'd be cool if we do well, but I don't expect anything. We had a very rough season, Team Galactic. And we have a new coach. She's clearly got to test the waters, figure things out.
The champions of the Marble League going back to 2016.
But I'm hopeful. You know, if we walk away with something, that would be very nice. But honestly, after the rough year we've had, I expect nothing.
From the 2024 Winter Marble League, which was sponsored, as this one is, by Mint Mobile.
Yeah,
we welcome you all in for an event that was the 3rd in the 2024 Winter Marble League.
Oh, there we go.
Won by Team Momo. The O-Rangers will get us started here, however.
So this is the one event I'm so we have 2 events to watch. We have
very surprising to see
bobsled and short track. During the main Marble League, Team Galactic did pretty well in bobsled. I want to say we came in 4th. We did okay. So I'm kind of hopeful that we'll do okay on bobsled. Short track, on the other hand, I am not looking forward to short track. Short track, this is the 3rd time doing short track. And we did fucking awful on short track in the qualifiers. We did awful on short track in the main event. So I am not looking forward to this at all with short track. We're going to do terrible. I'm not excited. I'm worried about short track. Bobsled, though, you know, I'm hopeful. If I remember the main, because this was also in the main league this year, I want to say the time to beat is 11 seconds. I think 11 seconds is the good time. So far we haven't, like, 13 and 14. That's not too great.
Did not make the Marble League proper this year.
Again, I have no idea why the Limers are here, but they are, so, you know, maybe they'll do something.
Controlled, and this might be in the 12s.
I mean,
working together,
it's better than the other 2 teams, but still. I don't know why the Limers are here.
That is our leader to the tune of 2 seconds.
Okay, Savage Speeders.
Up next, Savage Speeders.
And see, I remember with this, I can't remember, are the Hazers good? Or the Raspberry Racers good at this one?
Is oscillating.
Or were they both bad? I kind of can't remember. Because Raspberry Racers are the heaviest marble, and Hazers are the lightest.
Leading over into 13.
And I want to say one of those is good, but I can't remember which one.
Their time
so far, none of these runs aren't looking anything that special. Teams feel very, like, wiggly right now.
Consistency. The Savage Speeders go into 3rd spot.
So, yeah.
Almost 9
right, we got Balls of Chaos.
This looks like a very slow run for Balls of Chaos. Oh, they're slowing.
Wait, are they going to stop?
Are they going to keep it going? No.
Oh, shit.
Not. The bobsled
oh, my God. They
halts,
didn't even finish.
And they become the first team that has to dip into
I've never seen that before.
Of chances. They get 3 attempts to set a time.
Okay, they get 3 attempts.
Not too hopeful here. After that first attempt,
I've never seen that. Wow.
Together. A lot of sideways movement coming off of the drop.
They're still looking pretty slow.
Started to come undone. They are.
Yeah, that's.
But they're slowing down again. Oh no!
Ooh, are they not going to finish?
Down to the line. And
oh shit!
There.
Oh my gosh! They didn't finish.
Of the bobsled short.
And the ball. I've never seen this before.
For a 3rd.
Oh my gosh!
Time.
Are they going to DNF?
This isn't the kind of chaos that those fans signed
Again,
up for.
I made a joke a minute ago about I don't know why the Balls of Chaos are here. This is totally like at least the Limers were in first for a second there. This is bad.
Looks slower in the middle sector. Can they pull up?
And this looks exactly the same. I think they're going to do the same thing again.
Length. Oh no! It's coming undone for them. Can they crawl across the line?
Oh my
no, it's an even worse attempt than last time.
That's
the Balls
ridiculous.
Of Chaos will not set a time.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Chaos
that is
may have rained a bit too much there. It certainly will not be raining for that team at the top of the standings. Team Primary.
Okay, this has got some speed.
Look at the comparison.
They're very jiggly, but they've got some good speed behind them.
Won the Marble League.
Yeah, that's a good time. That's a sub 11.
In the catch basin, facing 180 degrees
or 11 something. Yeah, sub 11 straight up 10.7. Like I said, 11 is the time you want to beat.
That is our fastest time.
That I think in the main league 11 was around the good time.
Team Primary.
Yeah, that was okay. Balls of Chaos may have done bad, but Team Primary kind of justified themselves there.
Won the Marble League. In fact, they are statistically the 2nd lowest finisher.
God, did changing their captain really help them out that much?
Marble League. Here come the Raspberry Racers. They are very slow in this final section as well. That's going to be over 14 seconds. And that
so maybe the Raspberry again. Maybe it's because you would think being heavier would help you on the bobsled.
If not, it would
maybe
be
it doesn't.
Very close. 14.80. It is 6th.
Green Ducks.
Green Ducks. Down they come. Somewhat of a fast start. but not near the blinding speed that we saw out of Team Primary.
Yeah, no, that's... Are they going to finish?
Also having some trouble in that middle.
Okay, they do, but that was not...
Sector. And this
that wasn't exactly great.
Second range as well, probably lower end. Yes, 14.25 puts the Ducks in 5th. 16 teams we have in this Marble League All-Stars, and there you see the first
that's about
half
halfway through the run.
Shaken out so far.
I've never seen a DNF on
that one, but Team Primary.
I mean, it maybe has happened
with a
before.
10-7-2. Yellow's Marble Runs is excited to announce the launch of our toy brand. Start off.
Oh yeah, and so Marble League, right? For people who've never watched, they do sell actual marbles.
Or you can buy sets of 10 marbles, so you can have team races with one of our Skyway Chase Marble Run sets. And to track
see, that's
progress,
what.
you
but
can
see, in my thought, in real life sledding, I want to say being heavier makes you go faster. Like I know people who like sled or like snowboard. I want to say being heavier makes you faster. I don't know. I may be completely wrong here, but that sounds right in my head.
And so
yeah, as you saw in their ad right there, they do sell actual marbles, and
a sub 11.
I did actually buy my team.
Can anybody match it or better it? The Hazers are not looking.
You can hear them jiggling right there. I do have my own Team Galactic. I am a proud supporter of the Marble League.
The Hazers see the time ticking by. 14, 15.
Okay, so the Hazers are the lightest marble, and they just did awful there.
And out of 9
teams, maybe being heavy and being light isn't good either way.
6 puts them
yeah, maybe that's bad all around.
Finishers.
But yeah, no, I do support the I do support the Marble League. I did buy my team. I am going to make like a display or something for them. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. But I do have them. I'm a proud supporter of the Marble League.
Over the line they come in a 12-second range. And that was a decently fast outing.
I think it's neat, man. I just think it's neat and it's
second
fun.
place for the Oceanics.
All right, I think we're coming up here soon.
1.2 just under behind our leaders. Boy, that just makes that lap time all the more impressive that Team Primary was able to do when a fast run like that is still over a second adrift. The Midnight Wisps.
This
very
is
controlled through here.
Yeah,
not necessarily the fastest way to go about it.
I feel like, yeah, compared to the main league, I feel like we're getting a lot of slower runs.
Our winners of Marble League
Team Primary had a good run. But other than that, none of these runs have been that great.
13-3-5.
You can't have them too heavy because there's too much weight pushing on the box of the track.
Team
you can't have them too light because there won't be enough.
This is the team that won the event.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That gold medal. It took an 11.16. They'll need to do better than that here to win gold in Marble League All-Stars. And they will not do it.
But
they did give it their all. They knew they had to defend their honor from that first outing and put up a very similar time.
I mean, that was okay. That was like for the people who won it in the main league.
And it's good enough for
that's
second
not bad
place.
for Momo.
They cannot dethrone.
I mean, it's second place.
Primary.
All right, Mellow Yellow.
Off we go now. And
I mean, the Bumblebees may not have made it, but at least there's one.
They also have that oscillation in the middle sector, but they're trying to work it to their advantage. Over the line.
Honestly, it makes. I can see that. That all makes sense to me.
Range as well, but is it fast enough to beat Momo? It is not. Mellow Yellow go into provisional bronze.
Okay, third place.
Momo hold the silver.
All right, so I still stand. We gotta hit around 11. All right, this is it. This is our race. Come on, I believe in you, Team Galactic. You got this.
They fired out of a gun here.
We're okay. That's not great.
Better on what was a 12-3-0, good enough for fourth place, just off the podium in the Winter Marble League.
That wasn't a terrible run, but we needed to hit sub 12 and we just didn't.
Top half of the order, rather.
Yeah, fifth place isn't terrible. You know, we could have done better, but that wasn't that wasn't, you know, 3 DNFs. Physics required for junior. I think so. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my junior year of high school I did astronomy. So yeah, I don't know. I know different places do different things.
They need to pick up some time.
Was that? Okay for pennies.
Over they come, and it will not challenge for the top. It will put them into the top 10, however.
Tennis.
And that means Team Primary, no worse than a silver. Team Momo, no worse than a bronze.
This is our final
the Minty
round,
Maniacs, the final team that can knock them off.
The sponsors
And
of the Marble League.
By the look of it. Oh, they're getting very high up on the wall, working together as a team.
They're actually not doing bad.
The brakemen try to keep them under control. Minty Maniacs over
Do
the
they?
line.
The question is, do they beat us?
Right at the end. No, that's one of the
if they take
marshals
5th
down
or
there.
better, then we're
At the
down the
start-finish
slot.
line. No, just off the podium.
They did. So, okay, we got
11-49.
knocked down to
The
6th.
Minty Maniacs
This doesn't seem like a sport. It
cannot
seems like some project.
stand on the podium.
You know, you say
Yes,
that,
one of the
but this has been
mid-mobile marshals
running
down there that
for
got
like.
knocked off the seat. That was a trend in the Winter Marble League,
I
feel like.
think is this our is this the this isn't the 10th year of the Marble.
Either way,
Next
the
year is the so
All-Stars
currently 2025.
awarded their first
The Summer
medal.
Marble League in 2025
Primary
will be
gets
the
the
10-year
golden
anniversary of the
bobsled.
league.
Momo gets the
So,
silver,
yeah.
and Mellow
I mean, it's
Yellow
been going on
get
for a
the
long time.
bronze.
You know, you got fans. You know, it's like any other sport. How else do other sports start? You know, it's a bunch of bored people who have a ball who decide that kicking it is fun, or throwing it is fun, or throwing it and then hitting it with a stick is fun. That's kind of how all sports work.
Two Marble League champions standing on the second and
Yeah.
third step of
So
the
we took
podium,
6th
but
place
it's a
there.
team that
It's
finished
not
8th
great,
in
but it's not
2022
terrible.
that beats
You know,
the best.
that's still
Team
plenty of
Primary
room to
with a
recover from.
10-7-2, the only team to break that 11-second barrier, winning by more than 6
that's not-
tenths
I
of a
would've
second
liked to stay in
on
5th,
the rest
but,
of the field. That
you
was an
know,
impressive start, and it just goes to
it's-
show you
it's not terrible.
who the heck knows
There are a
what
bunch
this
of people in the room
all-star
placing it
competition
down.
is going to give
Sending
us.
them-
If there's one thing
It's a-
we know,
it's
it's
a-
that these teams are
It's
the
a
best
group of
at
people
what they do, and
in
that
a
is
you know
marble
they have
competition.
like
And
a
in the heat of it here,
I don't think
when
it's a
you face the
warehouse, it
best,
might be a
you bring your
warehouse.
best.
and you know
We've
they
seen
place
from
things
Team
down,
Primary.
they work with
Coming
them.
up next, short track.
Let me see if I can. Okay, I know Short Trek was right there. I know they did a community post recently. Is it in here somewhere? So that's their gold play button, right? It's like a group of people. You know, they've got. Yeah, it's probably like a small warehouse or something. They've got the background. They've got teams of people working on stuff. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. Yeah, no, it's a whole production. Yeah. Again, John Oliver originally sponsored them. Like that, or at least that's how a lot of people found out about them, including myself. Is John Oliver did their sponsorship back in 2020 during COVID times, and that's kind of where I jumped on. And I've gone back, I've rewatched all the classic stuff, at least the Marble Leagues. They do racing, right? There's Marbula 1, which is racing. They did a survival knockout tournament where every week they knocked out 2 players and they went through all 36 teams.
But it is back.
Yeah, no, this is just All-Stars, some, you know, 10-year anniversary, some of the best of the best.
A surprise upset and won the first event. That was
It's fun, you know? I have fun. I have so much fun with this.
Oh yeah, hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods.
Even if my team was getting their asses
Mobile
kicked
marbles.
in the
See,
2024
that was
Marble
fast.
League,
They are checking
I still have
the
fun.
track surface with those phones, radioing back to headquarters, letting
and
them
I'm
know
very
that the
hopeful
track is
for the
safe. You see that bar
2025
sticking
league.
out over
The
ice?
Rangers are
That is the
hosting.
start-finish
The
line.
Rangers
Goal
are
to
not
circulate
our
as
main
many
rivals,
times
but like
possible. We saw
secondary
Marble League
rivals,
records
and
set
like,
in
you know,
the
hopefully that'll
actual
give us some good
Marble League.
motivation.
And here we go. With the
How is
Wibes.
knockout
Crazy
gonna
cat
work?
size,
Is it
Minty
some play?
Maniacs, and
No,
the
so
lead
they
gets a
have
collision
the
on the first
knockout
lap. Knocks
is they
Crazy
had like a
Cat Size
track to go
off
down.
kilter.
Like I don't want to say it's like Battle Royale, but they had a track to go down where it was, you know, racing down 32 marbles, and you got points based on which position you were in. And then at the end of the week, the 2 people with the lowest points got eliminated. And then they sped it up, and then they did it again next week until they whittled down over 100 races. They whittled down 100 marbles down to 3 teams. I admittedly don't remember who won the Marble Survival 100. I know my team got out about halfway through it. I was rooting for the Bumblebees, and I don't think the Bumblebees won.
It's Raspberry Racers. Hazers,
Because
Pinkies,
so my
and
main
the
team is Team
Rangers.
Galactic,
Two captains
but
in the field.
the
And
1
a
year Team
terrible
Galactic
entry
didn't
for the
qualify.
Raspberry Racers,
I
and they
rooted
are
for the
already
Raspberry
just about a lap
Racers,
behind.
and then near the end of the Marble Survival
Yes, and that's
100, I
only
was
gonna
rooting
get
for
worse
the
for 'em if
Bumblebees.
they don't get off of
Even
the
though,
walls in that
so I say all
center
that.
spinning cone.
One of the
Hazers
there
are the
is,
effective
I think
leaders
it's
right now.
sumo
The Rangers trying to
wrestling
take a similar
that
line.
is basically
And
like
a very
Beyblade
tight
style
apex
stuff.
there as they converge
And
on the center of the track.
famously, one of the guys from Team Momo,
Waiting here,
when they
Hazers
smashed into each
at
other,
9. Oh,
chipped.
Rangers at 9. Pinkies just get
I think
over there.
that was
And it's
I
not gonna
think
be
that was a
fast
head-to-head
enough.
race,
They are beaten
or like
by
head-to-head
clock.
collision.
The Hazers and
I don't know.
the
It might have been
Rangers
something else. I don't think it was
will
bowling. I don't
advance.
think it was hockey. But I know
Hazers put
famously
Murky
one of the
in
members of
for
Team
the
Momo
event, which
chipped,
was number 6
and like they were
of the
cursed
Marble
for
League.
like years because
Ended
of
up
it.
finishing in 6th.
All right, here we go. Team Galactic.
Limers, Team
This is
Primary.
this
Team
is the
Galactic
event that
and the
worries me.
Oceanics.
We
And
did
down they
fucking
come.
awful
Very solid hit
during
from
the
Oceanics.
prelims.
Limers did have the lead, but they have been passed.
Okay,
and
we
now they
started
go out
off
wide and they
okay.
regain it.
We're doing okay right now.
Limers and Team Galactic are battling.
Yeah, we're
right
doing
now.
okay.
Team Primary is still fairly close.
Come on, just keep it
Oceanics
up.
were knocked off of their game early. and
Fuck,
they
we just
have
lost
to
our
dig
lead.
deep here, and going very wide
Come
like
on.
that is not going to help.
Come on, just take it back.
Limers, Primary, everybody briefly for a moment on 7, so they were recovering the Oceanics, but not so much now.
Shit.
Limers and Team Primary.
We
Galactic
just
gets
barely
to 9.
didn't make
Oceanics
it.
will be stuck at 8. So with so many of these marbles,
I hate the short
reaching
track.
9, it's
I
gonna come down
hate the
to
short
times
track so fucking
in terms
much.
of where they
And we
are
lost
classified.
fucking Lime.
Mary and Guline make it out of Heat C.
Man, the Marble League stresses
Heat
me
D
out.
now. Balls of Chaos, Mellow Yellow.
You know,
Savage
it's the short
Spears,
track.
and
It's
Team
one of our
Momo.
worst events.
Everybody fire from a cannon
just
coming
let it
off
go.
of that ramp.
Just let it go.
And it's Momo trying to establish that lead
I take it
early.
seriously because I think that's part of the fun.
Mellow
Right?
Yellow
I think it's...
also taking
I know
some
I'm like,
inventive
oh,
lines
I'm being
as
like
Balls of
all
Chaos
dramatic,
for
like falling
disastrous
over myself
bobsled.
here.
Find
That's
themselves in
part of the fun
last
of it.
Again.
Like, I
This time
think
it's
it's...
only in
I
the
just think
heat.
it's fun.
They are
you know?
guaranteed to get some laps, however. I'd be very surprised if they did not finish in this one. 9 is
Yeah,
that
no,
top
I
number
treat the
again.
Marble League
And
like
it's
you
Mellow
would
Yellow
the Super
and
Bowl,
Momo
right?
who
Like
will be making it out.
I treat the Marble League like
D,
normal
Yellow,
people treat the World
and
Series or the
Mo
Super Bowl or the
able
Olympics,
to advance.
right? You got to
Mo,
because
who
that's
managed
that's
12th
the
back in
good
Marble
part.
League,
Right?
did not
I hate
make
to
it
be
out
the
of
one
that
to
first
explain the
round.
joke, but that's the fun of
And
it.
so
Is
positions
you have to
9
take it
through
totally
16
seriously.
Are set. Those
I
marbles
mean,
do not go any further. Green
yes,
just
but
miss out.
also no. But
Yellow's
yes,
Marble Runs is excited to announce the
it's
launch of
fine.
our toy brand.
It's fine.
Start
You
off with
know,
our Collector Series marbles, which includes 32 of our most popular marble teams. Or you can buy sets of 10 marbles, so you can have team races.
what am
with
I
one
going
of our
to do for my
Skyway
Team
Chase
Galactic?
Marble Run
Because I will
sets.
do that.
And to
I
track
will
their
make my
progress,
Team
you
Galactic
can use
display.
one of the 5
I just got to
competition
figure out
racing
what I
brackets
want to
we've
do with
included.
them.
So come and join
I don't
the
know. I should
Yellow's
probably
Marble Runs
look up
community,
marble
and let's
displays.
race.
Maybe
Shop
I'll go
now
on the
on
subreddit and see what people say.
yellowsmarblerun.com.
But yeah,
8 marbles remain. That means 2
but no, I highly
semifinals
recommend you
and
check them out
1
as well.
final
Right?
to
There's
go.
again almost 10
In
years
the
of
Marble League
backlogs.
All-Stars,
There's a lot of fun
sponsored
stuff.
by
You know, just
Mint
pick a
Mobile,
team and
Minty
roll with
Maniacs,
them.
along with the O'Rangers,
Even if,
Team
you know,
Momo, and
not
Team
every team
Primary.
makes it.
Down
Don't
they
pick
go.
the Indigo Stars,
And
spoiler
Primary
alert.
left in the dust.
Don't pick the
and that
Cobalts.
was
Oh
trouble
my
there from
gosh.
Team Momo as well. They hit that center cone and lost all
No,
momentum.
none of these teams were
Lead
created by
now
me or
is the
anything.
O'Rangers
These are all
battling with
teams
the
that were
Minty
created by the
Maniacs.
league.
Momo
You know,
tries to get
they
there
add
again,
in new.
but instead
They've
ends
added
up
in new teams
getting
over
hit
the
by a
years.
few
You
of the
know,
competitors. Under 10 seconds
Green
to
Ducks
go.
were added in 2019.
O'Rangers
Jungle
and now
Jumpers
Minty
were added in
Maniacs on 7. O'Rangers on
2018.
8. This is a great flurry by
Wolfpack was
them right at the
added.
end.
What, 2 years
And they are
ago?
the only marble in this heat to make it
Right.
to
These are all
9.
pre-created
And so it comes
teams.
down to time
No,
for
of course
8.
I didn't create them.
And it's
No.
Minty Maniacs over Team Momo, 27-5.
Am I betting on Team Galactic?
Lap compared to 29.
Legally, no. Legally, I don't have to answer that question. I played the 5th. It's not like I know someone rooting for the Green Ducks who I'm betting against.
Wisps,
Nope. I played the
Hazers,
5th.
Limers and Mellow Yellow.
You know, you just root for your team like you would in any
Down
other
they come,
sport.
and the Hazers very fast.
I'm joking, by the way. I'm
Now
making
they're
jokes out of
settling
things.
in, but they clip the apex too quickly. The Limers
I do know
get by,
people who, though,
and they
do
are
root
now
for
the
the Green
effective
Ducks.
leaders. Is anybody
But yeah,
gonna
no,
be able to
and
catch
like,
them up?
so, right, new
Yes,
teams have
they
been
do
added
get
in.
past. Great move by the
Teams have
Hazers.
retired.
To go
The
inside on that one.
Jawbreakers
In fact, they are
retired
trying to
in
lap the Limers
like
now.
21 or
They do briefly and
22.
then go wide.
There's the
7
Bumblebees,
for 3 of our marbles.
and there used to be the
Limers
Hornets.
now at 8. Hazers in
And then I
second
want to
place.
say in 2021,
Mellow
the
Yellow
Bumblebees
flailing
and the
out to
Hornets
side.
merged into one team.
Limers will get
And since then, the
9.
Bumblebees have actually been a
Once
pretty
again,
decent
the
team.
only marble to do so, so the tiebreaker is on
Can you
time.
bet on this?
3 marbles get
Listen,
8.
it's the modern day on
Fastest
the internet.
went to
You
the
can bet on
Hazers.
anything. And did the
Murky
Limers just
reserve.
win? Was that the
6,
final race?
6-8. That is
Did the
faster
Limers
than
just
either of the 2
fucking
times
win
that
this whole
marble put
thing?
up. In the Marble League proper, 5th through 8th, they are set, leaving 4.
No, we got
to
one more
fight for
race.
the medals.
We got one more.
It's O'Rangers, Minty Maniacs, Hazers, and the Limers. No captains, 1 reserve in this one, and it's the Maniacs out in front. With the
Yeah, like
early
I know all
lead,
my
they
team.
go to
You
the middle
know,
and they're passed
Team
by the
Galactic.
Limers.
Our members
Limers
are
down 3 now.
Astron, Starry,
Minty
Quasar,
Maniacs trying to hold on to that silver. They are having trouble. The Hazers
Pulsar,
get by. Everybody on 5 for a brief
and
moment. Limers still in the lead with
Cosmo.
under 10 seconds
That's
to
our
go.
5
Minty
members.
Maniacs in second place.
Head
Hazers
cannon,
and O'Rangers
2
battling it out for
2
that
girls,
bronze
3
medal.
boys.
9
Our coach is
against 10,
Celeste,
no.
and our manager
Only 2
is
have 9. And it's the Limers.
maybe Nebula.
capturing gold.
And fuck, the Limers did win. Oh my
What
gosh.
a flurry at the end.
You gotta have make
And
your,
the
especially during
Limers
COVID, you had to
get it
find you
done.
make your fun where you could.
Gold medalists over the Minty Maniacs.
So this
and
mode
the
is just, you
Hazers.
know, who can do the most laps in the shortest amount of time. So the Limers there did 9 laps in 26 seconds. So that's what won them it.
Even
Minty
that Yoda up
Maniacs
there
taking
is
another
pretty
win,
surprised at this
and
one.
then the
2
Hazers also
lines
taking the third
standing
there.
atop the podium. Gold medal in event 2 of the Marble League All-Stars. Anybody on their bingo card have Primary and the Limers winning the first 2?
That's honestly the 2 teams I expected nothing from. Primary and the Limers. It's a spinning, there's a spinning plate that's moving them in circles. But yes, it's a short, it's like the, you know, it's based on the real Olympics. So it's, you know, short
The
term.
Limers. Silver
know.
goes to the Minty Maniacs and bronze to the Hazers. O'Rangers just
So
miss
we
out.
hit a
And it's Mellow
we
Yellow
hit
and the
10th.
Wisps.
That's
Last
not
round's winner,
great.
Team Primary,
Honestly,
down
that could have
in
been
8th.
worse.
Balls of Chaos make it 2 straight.
We're in 9th, honestly.
They are last.
I would prefer for us to be in the top
6
half.
events to go in the
but
Marble
compared
League
to what we
All-Stars,
just did in
sponsored
the main
by
Marble
Mint Mobile.
League,
We are
oh
having a
fuck,
good one
that's
so far. Not sure anybody
I'm
predicted this.
I am
The Limers sitting
horrified
atop the standings
about
with
what's going to
Primary
happen.
and Minty
Literally
Maniacs.
after the most
Where
recent
on
season where everything fell apart, I am so scared. Also, I've never seen this before. Did they start a brand new kids channel? I have never seen that before. What is this? This is our second channel for kids with YouTube shorts, extras, and archive videos. Okay. Huh, interesting. And yeah, they've been posting stuff on this for the past month. I've never heard of this one before. Huh, interesting. I am not going to watch this, by the way. We do the main Marble League and nothing more and nothing less. Oh, that goes to their website. Bloop, bloop. Let's go back here. Oops, new tab. Alright, so our upcoming events, we have the 5-meter ice dash, which is event 3 that comes out tomorrow. And then on the 29th, we have ski rally. Can I be honest? I hope, so far the first 4 events are all winter events. I really hope that the last 4 events are summer events. Because, you know, we just did an entire season of winter events. You know, I understand it's easier to, you know, do all the winter events because they just did a winter season. But I want some summer events in there. I can guarantee you the half pipe is in there. Is it called half pipe? What's it called? Funnel endurance. There we go. I can guarantee you one of the final 4 events is going to be funnel endurance. Guaranteed. But I really hope we get, you know, I hope they get the wave in there. right? If you're going to do all-stars, the best of the best, give us, some of the fun events. Give us the wave. Give us, okay, I don't know if I want to know. I don't. What do I not want? The Legion March Wave. I would love to see. I think that's a classic one. Funnel endurance, obviously. I could see them do a relay race. I wouldn't be against that. Block. I could also totally see block pushing. That might be a good one to end off on. Don't want tug of war. I don't know. I hope we get some summer event in the All Stars before it ends. But other than that, it's just good to have more Marble League. What else can I say? Oh, and then we got the Snowdown at some point. Of course, the Showdown's coming up. Yeah. But yeah, so that's where we're going to end off for tonight. We did some Marble League to end off for the night. I would say it's good to be back, but honestly, I'm horrified. After what an awful season we had, I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the All-Stars League. But we'll be back. So we'll be back next week. We'll continue with Donkey Kong. We'll do some other stuff, of course. We'll be back here for more Marble League. But yeah, other than that, that's where I'm going to end off for tonight. I'm going to bed. So I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time. Peace.